I am pleased to be joined here in studio by Shannon Leary, the Executive Director of the right now referred to as Employment Options.
Correct.
We'll talk about that in a couple of moments there. We'll mention why I said that in a little bit. But in the meantime, Shannon, it's great to have you in here. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here this afternoon.
Absolutely. And we're here a couple of days away from the event happening in Worcester at Holy Cross, the College of the Holy Cross, if you went there to be specific. A buddy of mine went to Holy Cross. He always likes to say the College of the Holy Cross.
Yes, very official.
But, on the 14th, Bloom Celebrating Transformation, Employment Options, going to be making some big announcements, some big waves happening there out in the heart of the Commonwealth on Thursday, the 14th. Ahead of that event, though, and ahead of all these new developments with, again, right now referred to as Employment Options, Shannon, I wanted to start out, for folks who may not be aware, the mission of the organization and how long you've been involved with the organization.
Sure. So Employment Options, we have been in the Metro West community for now close to 60 years. And our mission really is to support adults and families with mental health conditions. And so for folks that are watching today, we know statistics show it's 1 in 5 people in the Commonwealth struggle with a mental health condition. So we really have become really a premier agency to offer resources for folks that are struggling with their mental health recovery. And so we really work, we see transformation every day. We have folks come here into our building to help go back to school, go back to work, and really to help prevent isolation. We know that it can be very lonely when you are symptomatic and you are at home, so we have a community that will just wrap around you when you come through our doors.
And we did that piece a handful of months ago. We were able to visit your headquarters there. The clubhouse, I believe it was, right?
Called the clubhouse.
The clubhouse, there we go. Yeah, I thought I remembered that. And got to saw some of, just a snippet into the daily life within Employment Options.
Yes.
But as we sit here now in 2026, what is the scope of that mission? You mentioned daily transformations that you and your team see. What does that mission look like today?
Sure, absolutely. So we know that transformation is real and it happens every day within our doors. And so we have members that will come to us that may have been professionals out in the community, that are parents, that may be struggling and that they really need that community support. They want to get back on their feet. They want to be a part of their own community. And so for us, we do a lot of work in that really peer-to-peer support in terms of getting people back on their path. And everyone's path is different. And folks know that mental health really is a journey and that it can have twists and turns, but people do know that Employment Options is really there at every turn for them, whatever that they need.
Now, with all those transformations happening on a day-by-day basis, I'm sure that you and your folks over at Employment Options also see your handful of challenges as well on a day-by-day basis. Sort of a two-pronged question with this. What are some of the biggest challenges that you and your folks see, your team see, both with those that you assist on a day-by-day basis, as well as for people who are kind of on the outside of the organization?
Sure, great question. So for us, we know that stigma still exists in terms of mental health. We know that we service about 15 surrounding towns throughout Metro West. And for us, we really want folks to know that we are here and that we are resources. I would say especially for young adults. We know that there are many young adults who will graduate from high school and maybe not ready to follow the college track and maybe home. So we have parents that reach out to us all the time. And so that stigma does still exist. Even though there really has been a paradigm shift, we still think that there is a lot of work to do. And just to share, we have a saying that we talk about a lot: it's okay not to be okay. And so we feel that once someone does come to us and comes through our doors, that we know it's okay not to be okay, and that is the reason that why we are here. And so some of the things and some of the challenges we worry about, probably other folks as well from the nonprofit community. We worry about funding at times. We worry about folks that are home isolating and that we want to make sure that we're reaching out enough to families, especially our young adults. Our parents who we serve, knowing that if folks are watching, if you're a parent at home, you know the stress already can be quite a bit, knowing that summer's coming up. You layer that on top of having a mental health condition, we know that it can be a lot for people. And so again, knowing that we are here in Metro West, that we are a resource, and that we are open and that we are here, I think is great that I'm here today and that we can talk about that.
Now, all these decades later of employment options being within the Metro West, we're just a couple of days away now from, again, that event on the 14th with some major news to share in regarding the name of the organization itself. Would you want to reveal what that name is now?
Sure. So, so we are very excited. So Employment Options has such rich roots and history here, and we made a decision about a year ago that it really no longer served us. And we felt that there would be people that would feel that we were a staffing agency or just focus on employment, and we just do so much more. So we have launched the new name, which will be Novus. Which really means revived, renewal, and we're really turning that next page of that next chapter. And so we're really excited to share it with everybody here within Metro West.
Novus, how did you land on that?
Novus. So it's really about focusing on the us at the end. And so the Clubhouse community, we cannot do it without our membership, and staff and members are really true partners. And so we know transformation happens, and it really starts with us.
Right. Any sort of etymology behind that term itself for the linguistics out there who might be curious?
So it was a very long process for anyone who has been through a rebrand of an organization. And then we also really wanted to make sure that it reflected our members and our members' voices. So that is truly at the heart of everything we do. And Novus just really came to us. And I have to say that the membership really loves it. And it's really about a whole sense of renewal and a rebirth. And we just felt that it was really time.
Right. You mentioned this decision kind of started, the process of this started about a year ago. What were those conversations like behind closed doors to reach this decision?
Sure. So with our really great board of directors, with our leadership team, and also too, we had multiple focus groups from folks in the community who were either private donors or corporate donors, employment partners, and then obviously the people we serve. So many times, again, we would receive feedback that we do such great work, and we have such a strong mission, but we really needed to really look at our name. And so that is really where we made the decision to really invest within the organization around the growth that we have had the last couple of years, and to launch and change the name. So we're very, very excited about that. The other piece too I want to share is that we also do obviously service folks with mental health conditions, but we also have what's called social enterprises. And I think you had seen our catering social enterprise in action that day. And so for us, just knowing that we also run a business too as well, and that we train young adults in culinary and get folks back to work, we're really proud of that point too as well. So we just think we've had this immense amount of growth and that it was really time.
Right, and the changes like this, rebrands like this don't just happen overnight. It's interesting to hear you kind of go into the process of what it was like to make a decision like that, because it's a decision, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's a decision that almost sort of drives the mission of the organization, does it not?
It does, it sure does. And I think, again, it's really at the heart of everything that we do, and it's really the driving force. We really want to be seen as that premier organization within Metro West that can provide services. And we have beautiful testimonies, and hopefully folks will hear those as we're going through this particular rebrand. And we're hoping that folks will get more involved. And I'm really hoping that can happen through whether it's volunteerism or getting involved, employment partners, and also to donations. So folks know that typically you worry about state funding and what's happening in the federal government and how that'll impact a mid-sized organization. And so fundraising is really critical to our mission too as well.
Right. Now with the new name, do you and your team have any plans for any new goals, new services, et cetera, anything like that coming on the horizon?
Yeah, so again, for us, we have really looked at our social enterprise business and obviously our catering business too as well. We cater for corporate clients as well as other nonprofits, private clients. We also do the charter school, AMSA Charter School, that's here in Marlborough. So we are obviously looking to expand that too as well. And then our impact. We really are looking to deepen our impact throughout the Commonwealth. And that is really part of our strategic plan.
Right. Now tell us a little bit more about this event on the 14th at
Yes.
Holy Cross in Worcester. For people who may not be able to attend, because by the time this airs, the event would have happened on the 14th. But what else could people expect leading up to that event in Worcester?
Sure. So the event is called Bloom. And so the event, as you had mentioned, is at Holy Cross College. And so for us, it's really an immersive experience the minute you walk in the door. And so we have beautiful videos, member testimony, powerful stories that folks will hear that evening, as well as immersive experiences throughout the event for people to really be able to connect and really know a little bit more about mental health. And then I really hope that evening folks can walk away with, we made an impact, and then to carry that on in folks in your own circles. So I think checking in with folks to see if folks are okay, whether it is other colleagues or other friends or coworkers, and to really talk about mental health and help us break down those barriers. That really is what the night is all about. You
mentioned breaking down barriers, and you also mentioned those connections as well. Do you think it's those connections that motivate folks within now employment options, then going to become Novus?
Yes.
Do you think it helps your team stay motivated to continue to carry out this mission?
Absolutely. I have to say, members, our board of directors, our staff are so incredibly committed to the mission. And there is a whole support system in place, especially too, I just want to talk about the people we serve.
Sure.
So if there are folks that are struggling and that they are at home, there is a great peer-to-peer model that happens within our Clubhouse program that people will reach out, peers will reach out, and helps get people back in the door and helps get them connected. And I also want to say, in terms of Marlborough, we have so many fantastic sponsors and community partners, and we could not do this work without them. So we're very, very lucky to have such incredible partners.
Right. And just one more time for folks, just to reiterate, where can people go and who can they reach out to if they either need assistance or if they want to help in this mission?
Sure, absolutely. So our website is employmentoptions.org, and they can find information there. And we would love for people to connect. Again, whether folks want to donate and you have a specific skill set that you think could be helpful for our membership, whether it's a project or whatever it may be, we're always looking for volunteers and or to donate to support our mission to ensure that every person that has a mental health condition in Metro West can receive services.
And just to double check, you said employmentoptions.org. Will that be changing to novus.org? Will there be a redirect? Or is that just
there will be a redirect,
there we go.
And it'll be novustogether.org is the new website.
Novustogether.org. There you have it. Again, folks, that's Shannon Leary, the Executive Director of the now Employment Options, now going to be known as Novus going forward. No matter what the organization's called, Shannon, we appreciate you coming in to tell us about this mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.